Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I am going to try to limit myself to not go over 10 brushes that I absolutely love and adore, and if I could only have these 10 brushes, I would be okay. It's gonna be tough because I'm looking at two like, ugh, I should have included those. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab them. Yep, and we're gonna add them and I will kind of dwindle it down from there. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, actually, there's actually 10. Like 10 on a handle, but one is a double-sided. We're gonna go with it. So the first brush that I absolutely love and adore for my foundation is this brush right here. This is by Sephora. This is the Pro Dome Stippling brush. I have recently picked this up. This is the number 41. I picked this up, I want to say, in November, and I am loving this brush to stipple on it after you put on like your bronzer and your blush. If you've gone a little bit overboard, it's very good at diffusing. This is a very good brush, and I think when I bought it, it was 50% off, so I think it was like between $15 and $17. And I have not stopped using this brush since I got it. To powder the face, or to use as a big fluffy bronzer, or anything big and fluffy that you would need to bronze up the body, like the chest, the neck, cheeks, anything you need. This is the Scott Barnes number 67 brush. It is super uber soft. It does a fabulous job of blending out. I mean, she's a big girl. Absolutely, it has a absolutely great brush. It has a good weight to it, but not too heavy. This one's significantly lighter than this, but these are both amazing. And one I'm going to keep off to the side because it's a new love. This one, it's a new love. So continuing on, we're just going to move into the eyes because I feel like with both of these brushes, I could get my face done. Like, even if I use this for my foundation, I could also use it to do some cream blush or bronzer, like just cleaning it, of course, in between. But I feel like I could do my entire face with both of these. Next, moving on to eyes, blender brushes. This Morphe brush I absolutely love. She's a dome brush, but she is very, very big. And I don't know if mine has just been used and abused that made her so fluffy. But like, look at this one. This is a Sigma E40. And she's significantly, you know, more round. I think I have another one. Yep, so this is a 505 and that's a 504. But I like the 504 by Morphe because she's big. She's really good at blending out and diffusing. And she's inexpensive. Morphe brushes are not expensive and they're a good quality. So this one I absolutely love. Next on the blending front is the E38 by Sigma. She's a smaller domed brush. This is what I like to use to deepen up my crease. This big one, I basically put my transition in and fluff it out. The smaller one I use more to define and more precise work to blend into the crease and kind of build it out. But this is mainly to deepen is what I use this for, and especially on my outer corner, I use this to stamp and blend out. So I always do a big brush to blend and fluff out, and then a smaller brush to deepen. Also on the smaller brush deepening, the MAC 217 has been one of my ride or die brushes since, man, I think this was like the first like non-drugstore makeup brush that I bought. So that was probably 2008, I think. And I love this brush. I have another one. Yep, right here. The 217. And it's supposed to be the same brush, but they are shaped completely different. Can you see that? Like this one has more of a tiered, like a tapered, and this one just seems smaller. Or is that just me? This is my new one. This is my old one. I always go for this one. This one I primarily only use for cream eyeshadows. I use this brush for it. But this one, all day long, I could honestly probably get rid of these two brushes and accomplish what I want with this one. But I've used this one so much, I know how to work it very well. So this is, out of all the eyeshadow brushes that I'm mentioning, this is my favorite. This is my top dog, #1 out of this entire group. All right, now we also have another blender. This one's a little bit more precise, but it has the ability to fluff things up and diffuse. This is by Scott Barnes. This is the number 62. Has a very interesting shape. She's very pointy and tapered, but you can pack on the color on the tip and get very precise, and it kind of like blows out. You see that? And you can blend it in. I don't know if you can see. So you point and then it kind of blends it out. It's a beautiful blending brush. I think this is a good brush to invest in. I think out of the brushes that I've mentioned, this is the most expensive for the eyes. I think it's a very good investment piece. Also, this guy, the Sigma E25 blending brush, I've actually never used this. Never used this for my eyes. I use this for my concealer to blend that in. I also use it to powder under my eye. I've kind of stopped using a big fluffy brush like this guy to sweep and do that. I don't really do that anymore. I'm switching things up. I take a brush like this and I put on my concealer or a powder and get like in those little nooks, like around your nose, get in between the eyebrows, and I do detailed powdering with this brush. So this one I really like. If you want it to, you could even slightly contour the nose a little bit or build in your contour back here. If you want it to be very precise, even if you're doing this sort of thing, you can get it done. So this one I really like. This is a newfound love. Back to the eyes. This guy right here, the short shader, the E20 by Sigma. Love this brush. A couple videos back, I could not find this brush. But this is one of my favorite brushes to take and get under my eyelashes here and smoke out my bottom eyelash. Or if I put eyeliner on, I want to smoke it out. This is the brush that I like to use to smoke it out and blend it. Previously I'd used the little guy, the Smudge E21. Wasn't doing what I needed to do. I needed my E20, but I could not find her because she had just been washed. But this one I love. This one also you could actually do contouring as well too. Do the nose, the lip, you could do as well. Then we have the fan brush by Scott Barnes. Well, it's not the fan brush, he has a fan brush, but this oddly shaped eyeshadow brush is amazing. When I ordered this, I was kind of like, Kyla, what are you doing? But she is great. She's great to just kind of shimmer, like put shimmer on your lid, or you can either pack her into the color and do this type of motion with her, turn her this way. Instead of being flat, turn her this way and up and down and really blend. She's also great for blurring out and smoking out the bottom lash line. This is a great brush. You could also contour with it. I like brushes that you can do multiple things with. But this one is an interesting brush, but I love it. I travel this brush. This brush I always have with me because I never know when I'm going to need it. All right, so now we're down to the last little brush that I have recently started using. And I got this brush to go with the bronzer contour product that I got. This is by Huda Beauty. And I haven't used a lot of Huda Beauty stuff. I'm kind of dabbling into it now. But she had that, it's like square, and it's I think it's the Tan and Contour. And I got it in light, and I don't know if I like it. I don't know. I don't ever use it. I don't really use a lot of cream contour. I just really like to bronze up my skin because I already have really defined cheekbones, so I don't like to contour it too much because then it looks very makeup-y and fake. But the brush, this is the double-ended brush I was telling you about. This one I don't really use a whole lot. I guess you could do your nose a little bit, but I don't really use this one. I guess if I could clean it, I could use that for my concealer as well. Maybe that's what I'll use it for, to do my concealer. But this bad boy on the other end, this, you can take this away. I mainly just want this end. This is great for your bronzer because it has that slight angle and she's very dense, so she packs a punch. But I will literally, I don't have a bronzer with me, but pretend. I will take my bronzer, I will swirl it, or actually I don't even swirl, I'm swirling because it's on here. I'll take my bronzer and I will bump it in, like boom, boom. And then my bronzer has a mirror, so I'll tap it into the mirror to get excess product off, or I'll even tap it on my hand. And then I'll take it, like right where I put my contour is where I'll put this bottom edge, and I bump it up, and then I turn it and do my bronzing. But I always bump it right underneath my cheekbone is where I press it, and then I dab above it. And it just bronzes my cheekbones so effortlessly. It kind of gives it a slight contour without contouring really. And then I'll do the same thing, bump it into my bronzer, tap it off on the mirror, and then I'll almost stamp it on my forehead like this, and it's so easy. It's so much easier than when I was trying to take this, swirling it in and doing that. This, for some reason, I'm able to have more control, I think because it's smaller and more dense and I can actually see where it's going, and I have that stamping motion ability. I almost want to get another one of these because I enjoy it so much, and I feel like there's so many things I can do with this end particularly. I love this brush. So yeah, those, my friends, are the 10 plus an end that I don't really use, 11 brushes that I have been loving. I think those are pretty much my essential brushes that I would need to have on a daily basis. That is it for today's video on the brushes that I love and adore currently. I will try to list all the brushes that I mentioned down below with correlating links for you as well. I'm going to try my very best to do that this year in 2020, and that is one of my resolutions, if you will, is to be better at, well, actually I've never done it before, to list everything down in the description bar, like where I got my sweater, what I'm wearing on my face, and the products that are mentioned will be listed down below. So with that being said, you guys have a great remainder of your day or evening or whenever you're watching this. Don't forget to subscribe, button right down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.